Aloha everyone, it's halftime of the NBA playoff game, so here is a video lesson. Um, Terrible day. I expected that we would do this to end May, and this is actually kind of what I wanted to end May. But once again, another sell-off on above average volume. Look at this SPY. Do you see all the tall red bars and the absolutely zero accumulation in there? That's not good. And so today's session was a big negative for me, but I'm not going to get worried until we take out this low here. So for now, we're still consolidating. I don't want to look too much more into it. Dow Jones Industrial Average, same thing. We break that low in the 200-day moving average. I'll be changing my tune on how I feel about this market. Internally, I already feel bearish. Even though the IWM Russell 2000 is hitting new highs, I now believe that the Russell 2000 needs to come back and test that resistance level again, now support, or the 50, 200-day moving averages. I hope it doesn't. Hope we can continue. But look at that volume today following the breakout. This could be a fake out breakout on heavier volume. Not good at all. The NASDAQ also, same thing. Where is any damn accumulation whatsoever in this index? And I mean, you can look at the regular indexes too. The NASDAQ, where's it? Do you see any accumulation? NYSE, do you see any accumulation? So I'm very nervous here, but in saying that, everything I have is going up. I'm long an insane amount of stocks. Everything's working. And what doesn't work is hitting profit stops, and then I'm just moving that capital to new long positions. So despite today's ugly session, I still have 4 new quality long positions and 3 quality ad signals. Thank goodness there's no speculative long positions, because once again, all the capital that I raised today via the 35 stops at trigger, now those 35, I think 20 were for profits and the 15 that were for losers were for baby, tiny, small losses. I got to put it all to work again. So with that being said, WHD was the first stock to signal. It signaled and triggered in my cancel them scan. It's also in my IPO scan, not extended from the 20-day moving average. 1.5% of my capital into WHD. I do not have that. So what I'm going to do is, so you'll see tonight, those are the biggest positions, 1.5%. Everything else is under 1%. I'm going to max out all the stocks under 1%. So if it's 0.75% of my account capital, that stock gets 0.75% of my account capital. If it says 0.5%, it gets 0.5% of my account capital. If it says 0.25%, it gets 0.25% of my account capital. But if it says 1.5%, like 3 of these will, FSCT, WHD, ELOX, it's only going to get as much as I can put into it. Now, everyone, I apologize for Titan. I thought yesterday was the 31st and that this move was the post-earnings move. Holy shit, I was off on that. But tiny position on my end would have taken the trade anyway, just would have reduced it by half, another half. It was already under 1% at 0.75, so it should have been 0.375%. Now, if you guys ever see me go long a stock before earnings, and earnings especially, or the next day, and I don't mention it anywhere in the commentary, you got to let me know. You've got to let me know. You've got to say, hey, man, you're recommending a stock that's got earnings coming up, because not enough of you guys are doing the proper due diligence, and you're going out there and just taking these signals. That's not how this works. This is your starting block. I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing. I'm telling you exactly where I'm buying, where my stops are going to be, but then you need to go check and see if it's what you want to do. Nobody else can hold as many stocks as I'm holding unless you're a hedge fund manager. So unless you're a hardcore professional that has all the time in the world like me, you can't be trading like this. You got to only be taking 10 or 20 names, and then you're obviously not going to take a name that has earnings the day before. So seriously, guys, do your own due diligence and check on that. I would never go long a stock 5 days before earnings. Now, that being said, I have an ad signal today in a stock that has earnings on June the 6th. That's approximately 5 days away. I'm still taking it because it's only 1% signal. It's an ad signal, 0.5. It's extended 0.25, earnings 0.125. Okay, not a problem. I can afford to do that. But anyway, let's get back to the new long positions. WHD, 1.5% of my account capital, cancel him IPO, limit order 34.18 the high day. First sell stop, 32.23. Second sell stop, 31.30. Third sell stop, 29.27, and fourth and final sell stop, 27, 22. Why am I using those 4 stops? Because a smaller size position. And if the first stop goes, like always, I'm moving stops up. No questions asked, like SEDG. SEDG, after yesterday's day, I moved a third of my stops to yesterday's low day. That was triggered today with that close right there. Now I put half here, and the final half goes here. Forget about this half. We're feeling the 50-day moving average and above average volume. The rest of my position, half here, all of it here. And that's how I operate. I don't mess around. They move up immediately or I am out. So WHD, 3418, those stops, they're on the new positions page. Then ELOX, this one was in my perfect speculator scam, and it was also in my green bop for the past 20-day scam. Supposed to be 1.5% of my account capital. I can't do that, but limit order at 1525. And then once again, we're going to get cute. 1399, 1325, 1231, 1110, 1029. Now, I think that I'm going to have 3 stops. One here, and one right there. Or maybe even right there. Well, because why the hell not? Why does it matter? 1, 2, 3 stops right there. So that's probably where I'm going to have my stops on ELOX. But either way, that first level goes before the others come into play. I'm going to start getting out immediately. So that's on ELOX. Then the other one, FSCT. FSCT, this is in my IPO scan. Also very nice, strong earnings per share and sales growth in the most recent quarter. Also confirming my price volume Bob surge scan. So 1.5% of my account capital, limit order, 3020. First cut loss, this low right here, 2907. Final cut loss, this low right here, 2684. Once again, this level goes before this level comes into play. I'll be raising stops immediately, just like on MSI today, just like on MU. Already had 2 tight stops on MU, right here and right here and right here. 3. Hit all 3 today. Hit this one, and this one. Now what I have left in this area here, half gets moved to here, and the rest are partitioned here, here, and here. That just goes for any stock. I mean, MSI, same thing. Half goes right here, and now my final stop's here. Forget about those levels. They're now being moved up to here. I'm not messing around. The other new long position, CASM, also from my perfect speculator scan, and it was confirmed in my max green bop for the past 5 days scan. Extended, so only 0.75% of my account capital. Limit order 160. First cut loss 150. Second cut loss 129, I believe, right there. And then my final cut loss 115. Now, this level goes before this level and this level comes into play. I'm raising all to half of my stops. So everybody, if you take these trades tonight with the way this market is acting, you obey only the first stop. You ignore all of the other stops. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, what you need to do as someone that hasn't mastered this methodology and that might not understand how quickly you need to cut your losses to preserve your capital. Obey only the first stop. Then CCXI, another ad signal. But it's an ad signal and it's extended from its 20-day moving average, so only 0.25% of my account capital. 1290, first cut loss 1239, final cut loss on the ad 1166. CMTL, like I said, on the site, I have it listed as 0.25. My bad, should be 0.125. I'll change that. Limit order 3130, then 3035, 2964. And then 29.35. Everyone ignore this trade. You can just learn from it. It's perfect speculator quality, or else I would not be taking this stock ahead of earnings. But PS quality names, I always do. Just like Titan, you saw how that worked out, so keep that in mind. And then the final signal is QID, another ad signal. BOP keeps rising, and another above average volume day right off the 52-week low. Only in my ETF scan, 0.5% of my account capital. Limit order 4306. First cut loss 4226. Final cut loss 4147. All right, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I have a ton of positions, a lot of stops to manage. I'm extremely busy. What a whirlwind of a week it's been post-Memorial Day. I'm hoping we can immediately return higher and do what we did the day before, for instance, on the XLF and just the rest of the market. I mean, we need to fix this immediately starting tomorrow, June 1st. All right, everyone.